A very good relationship. That is how Donald Trump has described his ties to Benjamin Netanyahu. The former president made the remarks after meeting the Israeli Prime Minister at his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida today. Trump has been trying to mend the relationship with Netanyahu, which we have to say has soured in recent years. He's cast himself as the strongest ally that Israel could have in the White House. Ahead of the meeting, the former president called for a quick end to the war in Gaza. DW's correspondent Janelle Dumoulin has been following developments for us. She joins me now from Washington. Good to see you, Janelle. So tell me, what has come out of this meeting?
Brent, so Netanyahu was at Mar-a-Lago for a few hours, and since then a readout has been released. And in that readout, it says that Netanyahu thanked Trump for all that he did for Israel during the Trump administration, including moving the U.S. embassy to Jerusalem, including ending the Iran nuclear deal. And as for Trump's part, it said in that readout that he told Netanyahu that he stood in solidarity with Israel following the October 7 attacks, and that when he is back in the White House, that is how the readout was written, when, not if, when he was back in the White House, then he would do all that he could do to bring back peace in the Middle East. No word, of course, on how he's going to do that. Now, Trump really used this occasion to set a contrast between himself and his likely rival, Kamala Harris, saying that Kamala Harris would be so much worse for the Middle East. He cannot imagine a Jewish person voting for Kamala Harris. He also said that the vice president's remarks delivered after her own meeting with Benjamin Netanyahu were disrespectful. Now, Harris did deliver some forceful remarks saying that Israel had the right to defend itself, but it mattered how Israel did that. She also condemned the devastation wreaked by the war, saying that she would not look away. Now, Trump seized upon those remarks to say that he hoped that they would not get in the way of a ceasefire, a hostage release deal. So really what he was trying to do here was to show that the Republican Party is the party that is loyal to Israel and the Democratic Party and Kamala Harris are not. He wanted to be able to show that he had a good relationship with Benjamin Netanyahu, even though in months previous he criticized Netanyahu for not anticipating the October 7 attack. And we know that the relationship was rocky even before that. He had been angry at Netanyahu ever since Netanyahu called Joe Biden to congratulate him for his 2020 win in the presidential election. But all that seems to be in the past now. Both men keen to show that they can work together. Now, meanwhile, pro-Palestine protesters also hung around Mar-a-Lago. They basically followed Netanyahu everywhere he went on this trip, showing just how divisive and complicated this issue is for the U.S. ahead of the election.
And Benjamin Netanyahu, he has certainly been making the rounds the last couple of days in the United States. What did he get out of his U.S. trip?
You know, I think it would be fair to argue that this trip was pretty much a success for Netanyahu. He got one last photo opportunity with Joe Biden in the Oval Office. He got separate meetings with Harris and Trump. One of them is likely to become the next president. He got standing ovations in Congress, and with that, he was able to show audiences at home watching in Israel that he still has standing in the U.S. But of course, he also came to the U.S. with other demands. We heard it in his speech to Congress. He asked the U.S. to fast-track arms deliveries to Israel, saying, give me the tools and give us the tools and we'll finish the job faster. Now, the White House doesn't look inclined to do that, or not yet. And in that respect, he's probably going to have to go home empty-handed on that front. However, in terms of what the White House wanted some sign that Netanyahu was prepared to fully back the U.S.-backed ceasefire hostage release deal. Now, the White House has been saying for days that the deal is closer than ever, but all Netanyahu would say during this visit was that he was working on getting the hostages home. So that's not really the full-throated expression of support that the U.S. wanted. And in that respect, we could say that Netanyahu probably got more out of this visit than the Biden administration did.
DW's Janelle Dumoulin with excellent reporting and analysis tonight from Washington. Janelle, thank you.